guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my friend Brandi. Today we're gonna do part 3 of my natural hair series where I'm gonna be interviewing her. Okay, so we're just gonna start with a little conversation of just talking about Brandi and getting to know her. Her telling us where she's from and where she was born. So go ahead and let us know where your roots are.
I traveled every 3 years from the time I was born up until I turned 18. So I'm kind of a little bit from everywhere. I moved between different states and different countries with my mom, with her being in the military. But my mom is originally from Asheboro, North Carolina, and my dad is from Memphis, Tennessee. But I kind of claim at North Carolina now because I've been here since 2008. So I'm kind of like a city girl with a southern heart. So yeah, that's where I'm from. I've been here since 2008, and so that's what I claim.
How does your history and where you've lived, how has that impacted your hair journey?
I mean, since I traveled so much, obviously I dealt with a lot of different cultures, opinions, the way things are, like the way the weather's set up, the atmosphere. I mean, I traveled all the time. When I got a relaxer, I paid a lot more attention to it then, and I think it's just because, you know, being a teenager and things of that nature, you pay so close attention to your hair. You never want a piece of hair out of place. But as far as like weather or like where I was or the culture, I don't really know if I paid too much attention to that whenever I was younger, whenever I was traveling all over the place. I don't think that was really like a main concern of mine. I think I kind of grew up a little bit of a tomboy, so at the time I don't think I really paid too much attention to it.
So growing up, how did your mom do your hair?
Growing up, whenever I was younger, my mom did my hair all the time. I remember waking up early in the morning, her doing my hair before school, just plaiting it. I was always have like little twists all over the place. But it wasn't until I turned 12, I had to beg my mom to give me a relaxer. I wanted a relaxer so bad because everyone had one.
So you wanted one?
I wanted one. No, it was not my mom's decision to. Well, she was not for putting a relaxer in my hair. I was the one who wanted it. My mom was perfectly fine doing my hair. She could do it. It wasn't a thing where my hair is too hard to manage. I never frustrated with it. She knew what she was doing. It was me who wanted it. So on my 12th birthday, I believe it was, I ended up getting a relaxer. And that's kind of where that journey started. I never really had any issues with relaxers either. It never broke my hair off. I never had any horror stories with relaxers like a lot of other people I feel like did.
But did she do the relaxer or you got it done?
She would do it. I never went to a hair salon to get it done. So she would always do it.
Oh, so you got it more than once?
Yeah, I know like on the box it would say every 6 weeks, I think. I think I used to get mine like once every like month and a half or something like that. Yeah, so I went a pretty long time.
Actually, there's a lot of people that get relaxers pretty regularly.
Right.
You know, because when the new growth comes in.
So I guess I did get it done pretty regularly, but she was very adamant on like making sure that I kept my hair healthy even whenever I had the relaxer. So it wasn't no like leaving it on extra long thinking that it's going to get more straight than it is. Like it was just like following what it says to do and doing what we feel is right for my hair. So whatever the box says, just doing what, you know, what we felt was right, whether we paid attention to that or not. So yeah, I guess I did get it like a month and a half, you know, it just depends on how my hair was looking at the time.
So did you ever experience the burn when you got a relaxer?
I think one time, and it was very slight. It was like around my edge somewhere around here, I think. So I never really got burned too much because it would be a thing where we put it on. If I even felt a little bit of burning, that thing is coming off because I don't want to walk around with, you know, a scabby scalp. So I never really experienced it too much. Not really.
So why did you want to get the relaxer?
I guess like, you know, you're easily influenced and, you know, you have impressionable minds whenever you're young. Everyone around me, if they, you know, had a relaxer, all the girls around me that I knew had relaxers. I wanted my hair to be longer than what it was.
I felt that way too. In high school, everybody had straight hair. Everybody was relaxing their hair.
And
or using gel.
Or
lot of gel.
I used to carry around my big purse with a comb, brush, that, what's it called, that jam or that shine.
Yes, I used to use that.
I used to carry that around. And so I just found myself, and I guess everyone experiences this a little bit whenever they're like in middle school, high school, going through the changes. You're a little bit more self-conscious, and you're always paying attention to, if someone's looking at me. So it would be a thing where like whenever we're riding in the car in the summertime, my mom want to roll down the window. I don't want her to roll down the window because I don't want my hair messing up.
How dare you!
Little things like that I think back and I'm like, man, like I really was like really hard on myself when it came to my hair. Like I almost couldn't even really have fun for real because I was so worried about my hair.
Or swimming.
I
don't know. A lot of us.
Or swimming. I went swimming whenever I was super young, whenever I was like in a summer camp. But once I got that relaxer and I got old enough to do my own hair, I don't even remember even touching the water. Because who wants to come out like, like looking crazy? When you're young, all you care about is the way you look in boys sometimes. So it's just, yeah, so my hair really influenced the way I did things. It determined everything almost that I did. So.
Which I know women now, it still does.
It definitely still does. And part of that, like I said, had to do with just being young. That's just kind of what you deal with when you're young.
I like the water to touch my hair.
Yeah. I definitely am trying to get into
beach water.
Exactly. I'm definitely trying to get to the beach this summer. So yeah, I just really wanted my hair I wanted it to be longer. I wanted to see how it looked longer. I mean, I saw it on the box, on commercials. Like, I wanted to look like that, or I wanted to at least see how that felt. So whenever I realized I wanted a relaxer, my mom allowed me to get one at 12 years old. I remember distinctly I was 12 years old because I wanted it for my birthday. So I remember because I had my birthday party, I wanted to get it before my birthday party. I wanted to walk in with my hair relaxed. I wanted to walk in with, long, bouncy, straight hair. So that's why I remember like vividly right before my birthday, I think it was like maybe the night before my birthday, my mom put a relaxer in. So whenever I walked into that bowling alley, where I had my birthday party, I felt like I was looking so good. I still think I have the picture, and that's how I remember it. I definitely remember exactly when I got it.
So it's crazy that you remember that you were 12 years old getting a relaxer.
Right, because I think a lot of girls, whenever they're younger and you get your relaxer, even nowadays, I know how like hair can make us feel good. It can make us feel bad if we feel like we're having a bad hair day. And when I got that relaxer, when just seeing the change in my hair, just seeing my hair go from like, curly coils, shrinkage to like long, full, and bouncy, I walked in, I felt so good. No one could tell me anything. Now that I look back on the pictures, I don't really know if I looked as good as I thought I did. I mean, I was 12. But at the moment, I felt good. I loved it. So that's how I remember it, because it was like on my birthday. It was almost like my birthday present from my mom to me.
So we know there's tons of ways that one can straighten their hair. So you can use a relaxer. There's texturizers, which I've never used. Have you ever used a texturizer? No. Flat iron, blow dryer.
Yes. Whenever I started doing my hair more, so like I started doing my hair really young myself, me personally doing my hair, like my mom not doing my hair anymore. So after I got my relaxer, it did become a little bit easier to manage, at least for me to do my hair. So whenever I became like a teenager, so like around like 15, 16, around that age, around I guess middle school, high school age, I would get a relaxer. So my mom would still do my relaxer, but then after that, I would do everything else. So I would flat iron my hair, I would wash my hair, blow dry my hair. So I was always flat ironing my hair. Like back then, the look was, for me at least, where I lived, to have like that middle part, to have your hair coming down the side. It was real flat, let it hang at the bottom. So I would always do that. And I only had to really like flat iron my hair maybe once really, because I would flat iron it. I would do everything I need to do. So I would wash it, blow dry it or whatever, flat iron it, and then I would wrap it at night. I made sure to keep my hair wrapped. Even when I had my first job, I worked at a fast food place and I wore a hat. I would keep my hair wrapped under that hat, because I knew if I was going somewhere later, I wanted it to look nice. So yeah, so I used all of those, and that was basically my hairstyle. I never really went outside of that. I just always wore it straight down. I never wanted any body in my hair. Like I didn't want it to be full at the time. I just wanted it to be straight. I wanted to hang, I wanted that middle part, sometimes the side part like hang, but I just wanted it to be really like just straight. and hangs. It was a routine and it was very like low maintenance, honestly.
Where did you go to high school?
So I went to high school. My 8th, 9th, and 10th grade I lived in Japan because my mom was in the military. So that's where I was in high school, and then I finished out high school in San Antonio, Texas. So that's where I graduated from. Whenever I moved to North Carolina, that started college for me. So
oh, wow.
2008.
When did we meet? When did we meet in college?
2000 and
we met
something like that,
year.
yeah. So whenever I moved to North Carolina in 2008, and then I forget what I was doing, why I wanted to go natural. I don't think like YouTube was really big then for me. So I'm trying to figure out exactly.
Big for anybody.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly what I saw that made me want to go natural. But for whatever reason, I just wanted to go natural. I just felt I wanted more of the volume in my hair. I just wanted to see like what it would look like. I wanted to try something different. So in 2009, I started transitioning my hair, and so I just started letting it grow out, but eventually that got tired because like I know a lot of y'all probably do the transitioning. So I had the curly with like the straight at the end, and I was doing braid outs all the time, and eventually when those braid outs just started looking bad, I was like, okay, it's time to get this chopped off. So I just went to the random hair salon in the mall. I got some lady to cut it.
Where was this?
Now this was in Asheboro. So whenever I moved to Asheboro in 2008, back with my family, I was staying with my aunt and my grandma and everyone. Side note, I moved back just because I wanted to be closer to family because I traveled so much when I was younger. So I was living in Asheboro, small town, the country. So I traveled like 15-20 minutes to town, which is what they call it, because it's just the country. That's what it is. I traveled 15-20 minutes to the city to go to the mall to get my hair cut. It was me and my 2 cousins. They went with me, and I got my hair cut, and it ended up being much shorter than I thought. I wasn't familiar with the shrinkage and all that. She washed it. She tried to wash it and condition it first. I probably could have done that part, but she just like cut it, and it was actually really easy to cut because you could really tell now the difference between where it was straight and where it was curly.
Was it a good cut?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Like I said, it was pretty easy for her. She could really tell where the difference was, so the cut actually wasn't that bad at all. And so then it was just freaking out over the fact that my hair was not as long as I thought it was going to be. I had something in my mind, and whenever I watched it again and I saw just how small and how like the shrinkage my hair had, I was like, that's when I started freaking out.
So after that first haircut experience with you going natural, how did you style your hair? Did you have any problems styling your hair after that haircut?
So yes, because I didn't know what to do with my hair because this was the first time since I was 12 that I had my hair back in its natural state, and it was short. And so trying to find the products was the thing. So I was looking up a whole bunch of stuff, so I became a product junkie because I didn't know what to use. I just started using everything. But my go-to hairstyle, especially as it started growing out, was like pull it up on the sides so it kind of create like that little mohawk effect. And that was my go-to. I did that all the time. That was the only thing I did. I would do kind of almost like a wash and go now that I realized after I washed my hair. I used to use the Garnier, the putty, and so I would put that in my hair. That had a really good hold, and then I would just pull my hair up on the sides with some bobby pins, and that was my hairstyle. And then once it started growing a little bit longer, then I would get like the hairband and pull my hair up and kind of create like that little puff ball on the top. So those are my go-to hairstyles as my hair was growing out.
How did you know how to transition?
I just did it. I knew I wanted to see what my natural state would look like, but I knew I did not want to cut all of my hair off.
And you felt like you wanted to work with your natural hair.
Exactly. And obviously just cutting all of my hair off right away was not an option because like my hair back then was my everything. I mean, I guess I still obviously care about my hair, but the way I cared about it then when I was younger was like, yeah, no, I would never cut my hair. So I was like, I'm going to grow it out to as long as I can. I wanted to grow it out until I thought it was at a length where I would be okay with if I cut off the straight ends. And so I thought it had gotten there, but once again, I was not privy to the shrinkage, I didn't know about that stuff just yet.
How was your hair journey from Asheboro to A&T?
When I got to A&T, my hair was already natural. It was cut. I used to do like the kinky twist or Senegalese. I used to get Senegalese twists all the time, or kinky twist or something like that. So I did have protective styles. That was kind of like my protective style whenever I didn't feel like messing with my hair. At that time, I was going to get it done. I didn't quite know how to do my hair at the time as far as like protective styles, kinky twist or anything like that, or Marley twist. So I would go get it done. But once I got to A&T, I kind of already had like a regimen, I already had a routine with my natural hair.
You were rocking a fro, I feel like,
right.
when I met you.
Once I got to A&T, my hair was a little bit longer, so I was able to do a little more with it, you know. Oh, I would also, to stretch it, I used to stretch my hair a lot with the blow dryer back then, so I would like blow it out, do a twist out, and then like in the morning wake up, and then it would be a little bit longer obviously than what it was the night before. But it was in 2011 though, whenever I went to stay with my mom in Columbia, South Carolina for the summer. That summer I watched 1,000,001 YouTube videos. Like, that's when I got introduced to Hey Friend Hey. That's when I got introduced to, there was this other girl who was like,
I showed her Hey Friend Hey.
Yeah, Hey Friend. Yes, you did. She used to show me all the natural stuff. Like, I got introduced to all the natural hair products, everything from her. Everything natural, honestly, is where I got introduced from her, which is why I'm still...
She would show me stuff. We would just vibe off each other.
Yeah.
Like, so this was one of my first natural hair friends.
Yeah.
Because growing up, nobody I really knew was natural except for Brandi. So Brandi was like one of my first natural curly still friends, so we vibe off of that.
And we also were interested in just everything natural, so like how to, like, even when it came to skincare, to hair, whatever it was, just anything natural, just trying to be as natural as you possibly can be. So yeah, she introduced me to Hey Friend Hey. I feel like I already knew about, there's this one girl, I don't know how popular she is now, it's like Beautiful Brown Baby Doll.
Yes.
I don't know, I don't really watch her as much now, but I used to watch her, and so really, I used to watch her more than Hey Friend Hey then, because I felt like her hair texture was a little bit more like mine. And so whenever I saw her hair, I was just like, I want my hair to look like that. Like, I love the volume. I don't know where it switched from not wanting flat hair anymore to wanting volume. I think was kind of, obviously it was like a thing that was circulating anyways. Natural hair was just becoming more popular then. So I don't know, it's just subconsciously, I just was like, oh, I want that. But I wanted my hair to look like that. I wanted
like
it
Beautiful Brown Baby Doll?
Yes, I wanted it to be big like that. I wanted it to be curly. You know, I wanted the volume. So I just used to watch them all the time. I used to look at the products that they use. Actually, that's also when I learned how to do my own, like, Marley twist and stuff. Cause I remember she used to do her own Marley twist all the time. So I used to just look at them to just get inspiration on how to, like, make my own stuff or where to go to get my hair products and things like that. So that summer, that was all I did, was just experiment with hair and makeup. The makeup part didn't really stick, but the hair part, yeah, I just used to, that was my summer, to just look up all things hair.
So did you have problems like finding hair stuff?
I would just go to the local beauty supply store. I would just look it up, and with the first one I found, I would just go there. For my hair, like whenever I actually got my packs of hair to do my extensions, then I would go to the beauty supply store. To get my products, I would just go to regular, I would probably just go to, like, I would go there too, actually. I would go to those hair stores because they had like the better products. But some stuff I could get from like Walmart. I remember around then too, like looking everywhere. I think that's when like kinky curly started becoming really popular.
Oh my God, yeah.
Or I don't know if it was already popular by then, but to me, that's when I found out about it. And so I remember just spending some days just going around just looking for kinky curly. Where can I find kinky curly? And actually I never ended up using it. I never ended up buying it. I think
it's expensive.
It's kind of pricey. Yeah, it's kind of pricey. I think I saw it for the first time in like Whole Foods or something, and it was kind of pricey, so I never ended up buying it. 2011 is kind of like where I started really learning about natural hair and started gaining inspiration.
How was your natural hair experience on campus and doing your hair on campus?
So at college and had to walk everywhere, that was my challenge, because I was also in fashion merchandising and design. And whenever I would go to class, well, first of all, A&T was one big fashion show anyway, so you always wanted to, whenever you stepped out, you wanted to make sure, I guess, you looked nice. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to on their college campuses, especially like in HBCU. But for me, it was a little different because I'm walking everywhere, it's hot, like, my hair, we all know in the summertime, humidity, like my hair would look nice inside. The minute I walk outside, it no longer looks like that. Completely different. So it's just like, what do I do? So that was a challenge because, you know, obviously you wanted to look nice throughout the day, but I think eventually I just realized, like, Brandi, it is what it is. you gotta get to class, you have to walk. So that's really when I started doing my own hair too, when it came to like the braids, and I started doing yarn braids. I did my first set of yarn braids in school myself.
What's
but
a yarn braid?
Yarn braids, literally buying, if y'all don't know, y'all can look it up, but literally buying acrylic yarn from Walmart and you just braid it in your hair. Some people like to tie the ends and leave them loose. Not so much for me. I would burn the ends so it looked a little bit more natural. But yarn braids were my go-to because as it got older, it looked more natural. They kind of almost look like locks a little bit.
That's what I was just going to ask you. It sounds like locks on
that was before,
okay.
I think, I started doing them before I think faux locks was a thing, or before they became popular. So I wasn't familiar with faux locks. Yarn braids, I forgot how I became familiar with that too, probably on one of the YouTube videos I was watching. But that was the thing that I like to do. So that became really popular for me. Just any type of like,
I feel like some people use it for stretching their hair.
Oh, right. Some people use it for stretching their hair. Okay. Yep. So
okay.
Anything like that I like to do, especially during the hotter months, because then I didn't have to worry about like the shrinkage. I didn't have to worry about my hair when walking back and forth to class or walking on campus. But for the most part, I didn't have a problem doing my hair. I actually enjoyed doing my hair. I loved experimenting with my hair. So actually doing my hair and finding someone to do my hair was not a problem. It was just the clipping of my ends. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I remember you.
Yeah, I would drive to Siler City, which is another small town right next to Asheboro, because there was a lady who had been doing my hair for a really long time. So I would drive to her to clip my ends. And she's one of the few people who wouldn't like chop my hair off every time. She actually talked to me. She explained to me what she was doing, when she would do it. But obviously that was a lot. So anytime I planned on going home back to Asheboro, I would just like stop through there, get my ends clipped. I tried getting them trimmed one time in Greensboro. She cut half my hair off. So,
where was this at?
I forget who referred me to her. It was a salon near A&T, and she chopped half of my hair off. And I'm sure some people can relate to that, because if someone doesn't know your hair, especially as natural hair, and maybe to everyone it didn't feel like that, who wasn't me, but I felt like she chopped off a good amount. So
were you in the mirror? Well, were you in the mirror? Were you in the mirror while she was doing it?
No, so the thing is, she was cutting, and then whenever I felt it, because I straighten my hair, whenever I get my ends clipped, I always straighten it.
I remember that.
Yeah, because, I know some people can cut it now as it's curly, now that natural hair has become, bigger. But then my hairstylist in Siler City, she was, she did a lot of older people's hair, so she did the ladies who would come there on Saturday to get their hair, just a roller set for Sunday morning, so I would straighten it for her. I was like, that's the least I can do, and she didn't charge me that much, whatever. So I would always straighten it just to make it easier. So it was already straight whenever I went to this lady in Greensboro. But I just remember running my hands through it and feeling it. And now when I say half, y'all, like I'm exaggerating, but it was not, it was like a haircut, not an end. It was not a trim. And I've experienced that before, because I feel like when some people don't know your hair, we have curly hair and sometimes you get frizz. And this has happened before, like earlier, before I even got my relaxer. Side note, whenever I stayed at my grandma's house one time, she thought she was trying to cut my frizz off. And my mom had to come in. Luckily, my mom stepped through the door. I was young. I was probably like 7 or 8. My mom had to walk in and be like, stop. Like, what are you doing? So, and I think it just speaks to us, like, not really, at the time, being familiar with it. We have been so far removed from natural hair. So, but I've experienced that. So that's why I say all that to say, whenever I found the lady in Siler City, I stuck with her, Miss Rhonda. Like, I loved her to death. Like, I stuck with it. And then my mom also can clip my ends too. So now I'll go to her sometimes too. Like, whenever we meet up or whenever I go visit her, I'll just get her to trim my ends really quick. There's a lot of times where I think my ends are horrible, and I'll go to someone and they'll be like, oh, they're not that bad. But I do find that really important to me, and that was the only one thing that I couldn't do. So that's the one thing I would go and get done. But while on A&T, everything else I did myself.
And how much was that half off haircut?
That one was probably like 25, maybe. That's probably not that bad, but I say it like that because when I went to Siler City, she would charge me 10.
Yeah.
So, and that's probably though because I straightened my hair myself, so she literally didn't have to do anything but trim my ends. And she respected that. I was like, college student, blah, 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 whatever. But yeah, the lady I think charged me like 25. That's probably another reason in Greensboro, probably why I went to her. But yeah, I didn't go back. Yeah. whenever it was straight and she cut it, I mean, my hair felt good, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I washed it and like my ends, they just felt so good. And I think, but that's probably because I had literally like a haircut. So my ends felt fresh, but it just wasn't it.
It's probably not as much that she took off needed to be taken off.
Exactly. I don't think it really needs to be taken off that much, but I think that was just, once again, not really knowing my hair, I guess. But so that was really the only thing that I can remember that was kind of like, oh my gosh, like what just happened? But everything else in school went pretty well. It was just that, and then dealing with the humidity, like that was kind of a struggle. Because there was a certain way, obviously, you want your hair to look. So whenever you achieve that and then you walk throughout the day and, you know, and then it no longer looks like that, that can be kind of a struggle. But besides that, that was pretty much it.
How do you think predominantly the women at school wore their hair?
I think whenever I got to A&T, I feel like I started seeing more people with natural hair. I do remember I had two really good friends there. One was my roommate, and she used to get her hair relaxed all the time. I can't remember when she actually went natural. It was a minute though. I don't know if she actually went natural when we were in school, or I think she actually might have waited to go natural when we actually graduated. So she was still getting her hair relaxed. And then one of my other good friends, I remember when she went natural, because it was a really big thing, like between her and her mom. Once again, just speaking to the fact of, you know, like the generation before us and the generation before that, not really wanting us to go natural just because of the negative connotation, I guess I feel like it had with it back in the day. So I remember that because that was kind of a struggle between her and her mom.
Did the first girl ever ask you, the one that continued to relax her hair, did she ever ask you about you going natural? Did she ever ask you questions?
No, not really. She was pretty much consistent with hers. Like, she knew what she liked, you know. My other friend, hers was more so like she was afraid of what her natural hair would look like, because I think her beginning of her hair journey was a little different, whereas I think she had to get a relaxer because, you know, easier to manage and things like that. So whenever she wanted to go natural, she was just afraid of what her hair would look like. She was like, I don't know if I'll be able to manage it. I don't know, like, how it will look. I don't know if it'll be, you know, you just don't, you really don't know if you've had a relaxer for basically all your life. You really don't know what your natural locks look like. So if you can't really remember walking around with natural hair, then yeah, you've had it for a pretty long time.
Are they both natural now?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So she finally went natural and she loved it, and I think it looked really good on her, and like it was one of the best things she did. But I do think my second friend, the one who eventually went natural in school, she asked me a lot of questions about mine. I think it was kind of an inspiration to her because she did kind of have hair struggles. She thinks that, you know, her getting relaxers and stuff, her hair kept shedding. It became like very like dry and like stringy, and she just didn't feel comfortable with it anymore. She felt like it was hindering it more than it was helping it. So whenever she eventually became natural, she loved it.
Well, relaxers can break down the chemical bond in the hair structure, so it can cause shedding. It can also burn your scalp. That can cause scalp damage. And then also, like, I know a lot of older women that have relaxed all their life, like they have patches of like hair missing, or their hair just stops growing and then it starts thinning out. So I know a lot of women like that. And then they also say it can be linked to fibroids too. There's some studies that say that it can be linked to fibroids. So the day that you decided to go natural in college, are you happy that you are still natural? Like, have you enjoyed your texture?
Yes. When I went natural, like, I don't ever see myself getting a relaxer again. I know a lot of people can probably relate, but it's just almost like it goes with my personality. It goes with my style. Like, when I finally went natural and finally actually realized how to do my hair and got a routine and realized what worked for me, what products work for me, what hairstyles work for me, it's like, I don't know, it's almost like a kind of like, why did I ever get a relaxer? But it just goes with my sense of style. Like, I was talking to a friend the other day and she was just like, yeah, I can never see you with relaxer again. It just doesn't work. It just wouldn't look right on you. Even when I get my hair straightened to get my ends clipped, I'm just like, after a while, I throw on like an outfit one day to go somewhere and I'm just like, man, everything looks good except for like my hair's still straight.
Do you still straighten your hair to cut it?
I do sometimes. Well, sometimes I'll like blow dry it, but I won't actually like straighten it with a flat iron. So my mom mainly clips my ends now. So whenever I go to her, I'll like wash it, blow dry it out, and then she'll just trim them from there.
Really?
But I won't flat iron it.
Okay.
So it's very rare that I flat iron my hair. Side note, I guess I should have mentioned this earlier, but I actually did last summer. I cut my hair off. Now that was my decision. I like cut it super short. It was like couldn't even get into a ponytail short. Just because I wanted to see what it would look like. I cut it really, really short.
One of my friends did that too. How do you like it?
I didn't really like it that much. A lot of other people liked it. My mom loved it, but I just really wasn't feeling it. Well, no, that's a lie. Whenever I first cut it, I liked it. As it started growing out and getting in that in-between stage where like I can't really wear it super short, but I can't get it into a ponytail type stage, it was like, okay, what's happening here? You know, so that part was a little challenging. But whenever I first cut it and it was still like short, where I could literally just like put some like aloe vera gel in it and keep it moving, I liked it then. But as far as like my hair being natural, like I would never go back. It's now just a decision between, do I want to get locks? Like, so
what next natural hairstyle?
What next natural hairstyle? But I love the versatility of natural hair. Obviously, locks are natural. I love the versatility now of like being able to put like Marley twist in, because these are kind of like my version of locks. Or when they get old, I can take them out. I can wear my fro. So I love that type of versatility. When I get my locks, I can't really do that. So I think as time progresses, I may get some locks, but that's really the only decision now. But going back, like I said, I barely even like to straighten my hair.
Like lock your hair?
Lock my hair, yeah.
And not do the faux locks?
No, yeah, like I eventually want to get like locks. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the only decision now. I probably won't get them anytime soon. But I have thought about it, yeah. Like, that's something that I've thought about actually for, like, the last 5 years, honestly. Whenever I went to A&T, it was kind of on my mind. So, yeah, that's really the only big decision. But as far as, like, being natural, I mean, it fits me. It just works. Like, whenever I finally went natural, I was like, I love this. I love the volume. I love everything about it. I mean, I don't even want to just talk about like how big your hair can get and things like that. I just love like the versatility that we have with natural hair. I love that we can straighten it one day, then we can wash it. It can be curly again.
If you don't damage it.
That's if you don't damage it. Yeah, if you do straighten your hair, I mean, if you like to wear it straight, then that's good. But
there's other ways to straighten your hair.
Exactly.
The stretching method, the banding method.
I'm gonna tell y'all, every time I put a flat iron to my hair, I'm freaking out, because when I get up under that shower, I'm just like, is it gonna go back? Is it gonna go back?
Yeah.
Because I have had one bad experience with another lady trying to trim my ends. I tried again, y'all.
When was it?
I tried in Raleigh. I tried to do it again because I was like, I can't drive to Virginia to see my mom all the time. That's 3 hours away. So I was like, let me try to find someone here. And this was right before I had cut my hair. This is probably also another reason why I cut my hair off. And my hair had gotten pretty long, actually. It was like bra strap length, and I didn't even realize it.
Long, yeah.
My hair had gotten pretty long, but I never straightened it, so I didn't realize it. But she blew dry my hair, but the dryer was so hot, my hair looked like it was already flat ironed before she had even put a flat iron to it. So
yikes.
I was freaking out. And sure enough, whenever I got back to wash it, in the back of my hair, it was like stringy. It wasn't curling back up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that was, I had already wanted to cut my hair, but that right there, I was just like, let me just cut it and start over.
And that's what made you cut it short.
Exactly.
Okay.
That was another kind of like bad experience. As far as, I just love the versatility of it. You know, you can wear it short and curly. You can do a twist out and stretch it. So I really, above all else, I just love the versatility that we have with natural hair.
Amen. But see, I like the look of locks. I think it will look good on you, but it's too permanent for me.
Right now, it is for me too. Right now.
I would like it for probably 3 days.
Yeah.
And then for the 4th day, I think it's because I'm so used to having my hair, I have to be able to like bring my fingers through it. Mm-hmm. Like I would literally feel claustrophobic if I got the locks. But it looks really good on a lot of women. It would look good on you.
Yeah. Right now, it's too permanent for me too. Right now, I actually did go to a sister lock consultation.
But there's a lot of women that take it out. But even that, you lose a lot of hair.
You do.
Taking it out.
You do. A lot of people think that whenever they get locks and it grows. So it grows really long, but they think that whenever they comb it out, they're going to get all of that hair. That's all ultimately it's all dead. Most of it's dead. So all that's going to come out, especially if you've been growing them for a minute. So still pretty permanent for me, a little too permanent, but it is something that I am really, really thinking about in the future.
Currently now, do you have any natural hair inspirations?
I guess just really all the videos that I've been seeing lately, like natural hair has become so major and so norm, and I greatly appreciate it because, I mean, if you think about it, it is our natural hair. Like, it is literally the way our hair grows out of our scalp. Now, yes, we do twist outs and things of that nature to kind of like change it up, but at the end of the day, it's our natural hair. And so I guess the inspiration is just the fact that we're actually finally embracing our natural hair, like literally the way it grows out of our scalp, not caring about what other people may think about it, because we do. I'm sure we've all experienced at least one experience of someone not quite understanding or not realizing how one day we can walk in straight and the next day we can walk in with a short fro, the next day we can walk in with a more stretched out longer fro. And so, you know, we embrace that. And so I think that's more so my inspiration more than anything, seeing more obviously ads and commercials with us in it, all types of curly hair, whether it's like 3C to like 4C or whatever it may be, just embracing it all. I think that's kind of more so like my inspiration.
What is your hair porosity? I know you before.
Okay, so whenever I lived in Winston-Salem, I remember Egypt calling me and asking me about this, and so she said, just take a strand of your hair and like, you know, make sure, or take like some, because like, it could have been dead hair, right? Like, and just kind of wash it. I think I remember it staying at the top of the water. At the top, so what does that mean?
Low porosity.
Yeah, low. But what does that mean?
It means moisture is hard to get in. You have to like decondition, which use heat.
That is very true then, because my hair can be really dry. I like to use honey in a lot of stuff because I do know that honey is a humectant, so it helps you to retain moisture in your hair. But yes, my hair can get really dry. My hair can shed a lot.
Does it get a product buildup easy?
That it does not. Or maybe it's just I don't put a lot of product in my hair now. So that's probably why I'm saying that. But whenever I did, I guess yes, because I would get a lot of buildup like around my scalp. But now I don't even really put that much product in my hair, so that could be why my hair is kind of dry. So I use a little bit more oils now.
Like this year, like I swear by oils. Like all over the body.
All over the body. Everything. I use oil as my moisturizer now for my face, which I thought always was a weird thing because I used to have super oily skin. So I was like, you want me to put oil on my oily skin? Like, I don't know how that works. But I looked it up, and now like it really does. I mean, argan oil and jojoba oil are like really great moisturizers. So I'm trying to use a lot more oils now. I'm trying to just have like a more healthy scalp, just like naturally. So instead of just putting a whole bunch of just product just on my scalp, I'm just trying to make sure that my hair itself stays moisturized, just so it's all like one. So I'm trying to make sure my scalp and my ends stay moisturized, just so it then can kind of like get everything in between.
What is your curl type, and do you believe in those classifications?
I do not know my curl type. I never really paid too much attention to that.
You're in the 3 realm.
Okay, that makes sense. So whenever, like I was telling y'all back in 2011, whenever I just spent my whole summer looking at like natural hair YouTube videos, I paid attention to that because I remember they would talk about that a lot. And then after that, maybe like a year or two after that, it totally like went out of my mind, out of thought. Like I didn't really think about it anymore. I just focused on like what worked for my hair. If it works for my hair, then it works for my hair. So I never really paid attention to the types. I do believe in that though, because obviously I see people who have more of a tighter curl, more like coily hair. There are people who have more loose curly hair. So yeah, it is a thing, and it is a great way to classify your hair. So I do appreciate it's a better way to sift through like finding your hair type. But as for me, I don't really pay attention to it for me. And that's now. Before I used to, whenever I was along my journey trying to figure out what worked for my hair. But now that I've been natural since like 2009, I kind of know what works for me. I kind of, so I don't really pay too much attention to it.
Do you face any challenges with your hair now?
Really just the shedding. I feel like I need to do more protein treatments and deep conditioners. I guess the main thing is just having time for it. I just really, the twist outs can get kind of old sometimes. Just like, man, it take me like, I say I'm gonna do this twist out, it's gonna take like 15 minutes. Here I am sitting in front of the mirror, it's been like an hour. So it's just really trying to just spend more time on my hair. I used to spend so much time on my hair whenever this was new to me. I used to just take the time to do my hair. Now it's just like, and I guess also I have so much more stuff to do now, so it's like I I don't really know when I have the time to do
Yeah.
it, but I think, you know, it's showing because my hair is shedding a little bit more. I guess the challenge is just taking the time, because I know what to do is taking the time to do it. So before I put these in, I did a protein treatment, and my protein treatment consists of egg and Greek yogurt, and I put a little bit of olive oil in it just because that was the only oil I had at the time. And I really could feel a difference, like in the slip of my hair and the shine of my hair. So I really could see the difference. So I feel like if I do that more, obviously my hair will be back up to where it needs to be, and also that helps with the shedding. So that's really the only challenge at the moment. It's just the actual like doing my hair and maintaining the healthiness of my hair, just getting the time. So that's really the only challenge now at the moment.
What are some of your favorite moments being natural?
So just really the versatility. That's really what I love. So I like that I can slick it back. Whenever I wore my hair curly, and it's been going on like day 4, and like I can't really get the curls popping again, but I really don't feel like sitting in front of a mirror doing it, then I'll slick it back just so it can look good, because after about day 4, day 5, the curls are looking kind of like not really like curls anymore.
I think my favorite moments are like when you did a style, you've taken it out or whatever, and it comes out good. Like it's like,
oh my God.
You know, it's such a relief.
My
you
birthday.
put all that work into it.
Exactly.
You know?
My birthday, and this is when I was in that in-between phase of like, you know, my hair not being long enough to like put up, not as short. I did a twist out, and I did it like that morning, went to run some errands, so it stayed in for maybe about 4 or 5 hours, took it out. I don't even remember what product I put on, but when I tell you, it looks so good. And actually I did get a lot of compliments that day. I did feel good, because y'all know, whenever you do a twist out, sometimes you never know how it's gonna turn out.
Any style.
That really is any hairstyle, yeah. So you never know, and
especially with perm rods and flexi rods for my hair.
Right, I don't even use those. Like I'm telling you, the time I do a lot of twist outs. I should start using them now that my hair has grown back out and gotten to a length where I can do more stuff like that. I will start using more that type of stuff. But I literally just did a regular little twist out. But for whatever reason, I guess the type of product I used on it, I don't know. It turned out really, really good. Or I don't know, maybe it was the length. And that was like the one time that medium length had like actually worked for me. And so when I did that first twist out, whenever I had cut my hair, I think that was like my first twist out I had done since I cut my hair. Then I was like, oh, this looks good. So then I knew that, okay, I can go back to doing the twist outs. And once again, I just love the versatility of our hair. I mean, it's amazing, honestly, how our hair can change the way that it can. It's almost like no other hair can really do what our hair can do.
True.
I just like appreciate it. Like, you know, I get it. We all have different type of hair types. Some is easier to manage. Some is maybe a little bit harder to manage. But like whatever hair type you have, just appreciate it, because just, yeah, love the versatility of your hair. Love
when you love it, that's when it starts flourishing.
Exactly.
You know, that's when you start taking care of it.
And when you focus on like the healthiness of your hair versus like the length, I get it. You know, deep down, a lot of us, we see kind of like the longer, you know, you want some length on your hair, you know, you want some fullness to your hair. Whenever you focus on like your hair being healthy, I feel like that eventually will come. That version for you will come. Everyone's hair is not going to look the same. That's why it's natural. It's unique to us. But your version of it will eventually come if you just focus on like the healthiness of your hair. So
worst moments of being natural?
Yeah, whenever I got my hair cut, the transitioning was probably like not the best, just because I didn't quite know what to do.
But you pulled through.
Right, exactly. That second time I got my hair cut that bad, she trimmed my ends. She kind of messed up my curl pattern a little bit in the back. And it wasn't really that bad, but for me, someone who freaks out every time I straighten my hair, I was just like, I know, like I could already feel it. Like whenever she was putting that blow dryer to my hair, I could just feel like this is not going to go
That's
back.
why I don't straighten my hair, because every time I do, doesn't matter how much heat protection I use, it doesn't matter what flat iron I use. When I started caring about heat damage, that's when I noticed I can't straighten my hair, because every time my curl pattern is so susceptible to heat damage, it won't revert back the same. So that's why I don't. It'll be random pieces, especially on the ends, because that's the driest part of your hair. I can't retain length or keep my hair healthy when I straighten my hair, so I don't straighten my hair.
I'm grateful that I haven't had too many horrifying experiences. It's just really with the clipping of my ends. That was really just whenever I stepped outside of what I knew. I never really had any like horrifying experiences with my hair, so I've been pretty grateful for that.
Ever using a product that was like, no, this did not work?
And if it didn't work, it wasn't anything where it like messed my hair up too much. Just like this, maybe I won't have to use this again, but it wasn't a thing where it was noticeable to someone from the outside looking in, you know? Unfortunately, I think it was Miss Jackie, someone gave that to me. I think that might be a little too heavy for my hair.
A lot of her stuff is strongly fragranted.
Yeah, I think it might be a little too heavy. And I do like...
Which one is it?
It was the one, it was like some type of curl pudding or something. Maybe it's because that's what it was. It was a curl pudding, so it was meant to like hold, so maybe that's why. But I think that was just a little bit too much. And I do like thicker products, but I think that might have been just a little
was
too
it purple?
thick. No, it was like, I don't remember. There's not any products really that like have really like messed me up. It's just kind of like I'll use it and then it will work for the time being, but then it's like I'll just kind of want to go into something else. Like I want to, there's so many products out there. I want to experience them all, you know? So it's kind of like, oh, this kind of works. Like this isn't horrible. I could see myself using it, but it's like, I guess it's like if I'm not like, oh my God, like this is amazing, then it's like, okay, let me see what else is out there. But whenever I experience like something that's like, I have to have this, then I'll keep it and then I'll like stash that to the side. But then, you know, I'll just keep looking for other products, trying new stuff because there's so much out there to try, so.
Okay. So what is your go-to style?
Just a twist out.
Over wash and goes?
Over wash and goes, actually.
I'm just saying, that's crazy.
So during the summer, you're probably going to see me at least once during the summer with some type of either yarn braid or Marley twist. I do them myself, so it's convenient. It takes a long time, but it's convenient for me because I don't have to dish out too much money since I do them myself. That during the summer, but like during the colder months, so I don't have to worry too much about the humidity, a good twist out. But just recently, and it's weird, right before I cut my hair, I was doing a wash and go, but what I would do is I would wash my hair, I would put a lot of like aloe vera gel on it, and then I would let that dry. And then the next day, I would like pick out my curls and it would be like nice and big and like full, and the curls would be really defined because I had put so much aloe vera gel on it the night previously. And that was a hairstyle that was becoming a go-to for me. That one did take up a little bit of time too because it was kind of like
How did you sleep though?
So that's the thing. It was kind of like a 2-day process. So you had to be very strategic about when you did it. If I thought about it too late, then I couldn't do it. I would have to do it in the morning or at least like early afternoon so I could wear my hair out and actually let it dry. If I did it too late, then it wouldn't work because I can't go to sleep on wet hair for my hairstyle. I don't like that. Number one, I don't like it, and then also my hairstyle wouldn't turn out the way it's supposed to. I have to be very strategic about it. I have to do it early in the morning. I mean, it turned out so good, so that was becoming a go-to for me when I had the time. So either that or a twist out, which a twist out was even still a process too. I don't wear like weave too much just because I don't know how to do it. So if I don't know how to do it, then I'm probably not gonna wear it because I don't really know too many people to go to for it. No, but I am looking for a good wig. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking for a good wig, so anyone know where I can go or where I can order from to get a good wig. Now I'm talking about a wig though where I don't have to low maintenance, because I'm low maintenance, y'all. Like a wig where I don't have to do too much to it. I am looking for a good wig, just FYI.
Really?
So I really am. I don't know. I like a curly one because one that can work curly or straight. But I don't know. I've seen it on YouTube and girls are making these wigs look so good. Like they're not like
that
the wigs
so
that you
natural.
Right.
A lot of them are using like clip-ins though. You know, natural curly hair clip-ins, and then
where you can just clip it on. If whatever you think is low maintenance that looks good, I will take it. I mean, I don't know how much I'll pay. I want it to be fairly inexpensive, and I know that's like kind of weird because if you want a really good wig, if I find a really good one, I would pay a little bit of money for it because that would be like my one and only wig. I'll take care of that one. My go-to.
You gotta give her a name.
Exactly. I will take care of it. I will wash her. I will do everything I gotta do to keep her going at least for like the next 5 years. I'm trying to keep her for like 5 years. But yeah.
Any advice for transitioners?
For going natural, I would say focus on what is most important, which is probably how healthy your hair is. Like, really focus on that. I think whenever you focus on that, everything else will kind of fall in place. So focus on like figuring out what works for you, what product works for you. I guess not focusing so much on I want my hair to look like that. because I know I did that whenever I first started, you know, and so it kind of can discourage you a little bit if you do that, because then when it doesn't look like that,
you stop focusing on your hair.
Exactly. You stop focusing on your hair. You stop focusing on the healthiness of your hair. So I would say focus on the healthiness of your hair, because at the end of the day, that is what's most important. And once again, your hair will then work out for you. And then also another word of advice is that our hair is it's unique to us. So your hair may not look like someone else's. Your curl pattern may not be the same. You know, you may have a different texture. So just figure out what works for you. Once again, going back to not focusing so much on like, I want my hair to look like that. Because if you do that, then you may start getting those type of products that person's using, and it may not work for you. So focus on your hair, focus on what works for you.
Advice to transitioners.
I personally think that you should just cut your hair whenever, obviously, feel comfortable.
You think big chop over transitioning?
I do, somewhat, because I feel like you give your hair a chance to really grow too, and to really like flourish whenever you get those straight ends off of it. If you have hairstyles that work for you, then that's great. But I just felt a really big difference whenever I officially went natural. I had cut all my straight hair off. Once I did it, it was a shock at first, yes, but once I learned my hair and how to do it, it just looked so much healthier. It felt better. It was growing. The way it was growing was better, just because I felt like I didn't have the straight ends on it. And that worked for me. So I say that, but then also, I guess really the word of advice would be just do what works for you, kind of feel what works for you. If you
at your own pace type of thing?
Exactly. If you feel like keeping your relaxed hair like till it grows all the way out, if you feel like that works for you and your hair still feels healthy, then I guess do that. But for me, it was almost getting to a point where like it wasn't even feeling healthy. It was looking bad. I was having to do way too much. I was just like, you know what? I think it's going to be easier just for me to cut it. And so that's what worked for me.
What are some of your favorite products and holy grails?
My favorite product is aloe vera gel. I'm trying to learn how to make my own just so I don't have to keep buying it, and it can be a little bit more natural, because right now I do get the aloe vera is a product for like cuts and burns and stuff, but I use it on my hair. I love that. I use it as a gel just because it's one of the few gels that does not make my hair hard, and it also is one of the few gels that, you know, is aloe vera, so it adds moisture to my hair. So I do more so use it as like something to add moisture than to like slick my hair back and stuff like that, because if you're looking for something with a lot of hold, it doesn't do that. So, I mean, I've been using that for I don't know how many years. So, and then my oils, like the last few months, my oils is something that I really feel like I need whenever I do my twist out. I like to seal my ends with oils, and I feel like it really does help.
It really does.
Yeah, it really does. You really can tell a difference whenever you take your twist out at the end. So I like that. Those are always my go-to, specifically jojoba and argan oil. I don't use castor oil as much as I feel like I should. I just ordered some, so we'll see how that works. I need to start using that more. It is really, really heavy, but those are my go-tos. But then right now I'm also using the Cantu. I think it's just like a regular daily moisturizer. I just keep buying it until I find something else. And then I also use this brand. It's called Beautiful Textures, and I use the leave-in conditioner. And I also used to use the moisturizer
from Sally's.
Yeah, they sell it in. They sell it in Sally's. They sell it in like your. I think that was selling just like your local beauty supply store. It's like a cream. I just use that right after washing my hair, and then after that I use the Cantu Daily Moisturizer anytime I just need to add moisture to my hair. And then also, just above all is water for me. Like above all else, it's just water, not only on your hair but just taking in water. Because what we also don't realize is that just for our hair, it really makes a big difference what you take in your body. Your diet makes a big difference, because obviously that all eventually like comes out. So that really does show on the outside what you take in. So above all of those products is water. Just trying to keep your hair moisturized in some way, shape, or form. And then also just trying to drink more water, so therefore then it shows on my hair, also skin and things of that nature.
Okay, so is there anything you like to see the natural hair community do, or is there something that you think we need?
I guess this is more so just speaking on a local level, because I know that there's things going on, I'm sure, in other states. But locally to where I live, I would just like to kind of see more of the hair shows come back. I do know they had something a while ago back in Greensboro, which is a city kind of like right outside of where I live. And then I got a chance to speak with the lady who had held that event, and she just said she wasn't doing it at the moment anymore. I think she's just trying to go in a different direction. I'm still within the natural hair community, but I would like to see it come back, because I think, you know, I really like the events, and sometimes it's it's even more than natural hair. The events can mean so much more than that. But yeah, I got products at that. That one was fairly inexpensive. I think it was like 25 or 30. Inexpensive. And I know that they can be somewhat expensive, but you know, it also all depends on what you get from it too. They can be very enlightening experiences, so sometimes it's worth it. But I would like to kind of see those come back.
I know Atlanta has a big one every year. And like the bigger cities, they have like natural hair conventions and shows. New Orleans has one.
Yeah. And cities around here are starting to develop, so I mean.
And if you're going to have an expensive entry fee, then you should definitely be providing full-size free products.
Right. Well, that's true. And then also they have vendors there too. I guess you don't want people to spend too much and then feel like they don't want to spend money like at the vendors and things of that nature.
Right.
But you know, I think at a reasonable price that's worth what you're getting from it, I think that it would work pretty well. So I would like to see that. Let's be honest. Just saying that natural hair is here now, it's like it's an obvious. It's like that's just, it's been around for so long. It's the new norm. Yeah. So I think that it would be a really great thing. Besides that, I think that the natural hair community is really like coming together. I think we're embracing our natural hair more. So I mean, I'm loving it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Brandi, for being here. And you also do wall hangings, right?
Yeah, so you can follow me at Audacious, that's AUDACIOUS.dreamer. I just make wall hangings. My inspiration did kind of come from dream catchers, but I like to create. I always love creating, but I wanted to create something that was a little bit more catered towards me, us as African American women with natural hair. So whenever you go, you'll see kind of like what I'm talking about, and probably where I got my inspiration from. But yeah, so they're just wall hangings, just wall art. You can hang it on your wall, you can hang it from the ceiling. I hope you guys enjoy it. Definitely look out for them. Like I said, with having time, I'm trying to make more. I'm trying to get them out there more, but just trying to get the time to do them. So I don't post a lot, but whenever I do, I feel like you guys will really enjoy it. So definitely just follow me on there if it's something that you're interested in. And
was that a website or?
That's my Instagram, audacious.dreamer. I made a page on Facebook as well, Audacious Dreamer. But if you go to my Instagram, everything is in the description, my email, my Etsy. So you can find all of that there. IG is probably the best way to just get all that information.
I'll put it down, all of it.
Yeah, so, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely enjoy making them. I want it to be some type of inspiration, having it in your space, looking at it. And so hopefully you guys, you get that from whenever you look at it. And
that's cool. So I'm definitely I'm gonna put all those links in the description box. This is gonna conclude my natural hair series. So yeah, if you guys want to subscribe, please do. I hope you guys learned something. I hope we maybe inspired you to go natural, or hopefully we help some transitioners. But you know, love your hair either way. But anyway, we will talk to you guys later.
Bye.